Hi everybody, it's Casey Williams. Well, it's probably part of the Matthew McConaughey effect, but Lincoln's really having a moment right now. And it's having that moment by really focusing on American-styled vehicles. Think about vehicles like the Navigator and the Continental, and even some downsized vehicles like the new crossovers. Thinking about the Nautilus and the brand new Aviator. Well, here in the smallest size is the Corsair. Let's go have a look at it and see why this really might be the future of Lincoln. Well, I'll say one thing for Lincoln. The styling is very consistent across the lineup. And it really started with the current generation Continental. The chrome grille, kind of the beefy muscular front end, the projector headlamps, all looks really, really nice. I like all the chrome detailing. This is the reserve package on this Corsair. So it's got the black tops, got the black mirror caps, the black pillars. Looks very nice, very upscale. Come around the side, you really kind of get that Range Rover look to it. And years ago, Ford owned Range Rover and Land Rover, so it's really not inconsistent with Ford's heritage. But it really does give it a very nice, upscale, sleek appearance. 20-inch alloy wheels. I like the logos here on the door. They're doing that with all the crossovers and SUVs. Again, just very nice chrome detailing. Come around the back. I really like this thin, full-width tail lamp in the back. I think it looks very nice. Twin exhaust outlets. All just looks very, very sleek and very expensive, and I think it's very nice. Power hatch. A fairly roomy luggage area. Again, this is a compact crossover, so it's not going to have tons of space, but there's enough for your luggage back here. Of course, the back seats fold down. And one really nice thing that a lot of vehicles don't have anymore, it actually has a real spare tire in here. I think that's really nice. You don't need an air pump, you don't need a canister, you don't need a run flat tire. It actually has a spare. So all in all, styling is very, very nice. I like what Lincoln has done with the interior of the Corsair too. And I think Lincoln's done a really nice job of just being unabashedly American in their style. And they've really found their niche, and I think that's great for them. You look at the dashboard, the aluminum finishes here on the dash, and the stitching, the chrome push button starter here, chrome volume and tuning knobs down below, the piano key gear selectors, and even for the fan speeds. Everything looks like, it could have just almost been lifted out of a 1960s Continental. And I think that's just really nice. It feels very classy and feels very upscale. It doesn't feel German or Japanese in any way. It just feels very American. I think it's nice. And there's a lot of features on this vehicle. For a compact crossover, completely loaded. Starting with the seats, over 20-way adjustments on the seats. You can get basically a stone massage in your back. They're heated, they're ventilated. You got a heated steering wheel. Just absolutely comfortable. The lower seat cushions, there's actually two panels here that adjust independently, for different pressure in your legs. The headrests all rotate. Just any way you want to adjust these seats, you can. It's become a Lincoln trademark in recent years, especially start with the Continental and the Navigator, and it's filtered down to the smaller vehicles too. Just very, very comfortable. And just all the rest of the equipment on this car. It has a Revel audio system. Just sounds absolutely beautiful when you crank it up. Like that a lot. Touchscreen's very easy to use, very intuitive. Audio controls here. Nice, easy to use icons on the bottom. Phone, navigation, the app package, and then all the settings for the vehicle. One thing, this does have auto stop start for the engine. I'd prefer there just be a button so I could disable it easily. You have to go in the menu, you have to hit the driver assistance button, and then you have to scroll down, and here it is here, auto stop starts on, I can turn it off. So it's a little bit of a pain in the butt. I think they probably want that to be on purpose so you don't turn it off as much, but you can turn it off if it's annoying you when the vehicle pauses at rest. All that's very easy. Again, down below, I always say it's really nice to have a proper volume and tuning knob in a car, so you can just adjust them very easily, and they are here. They're chrome, they're beautiful, look like little pieces of art, but they work and they're very nice. Redundant climate controls down below. There's also a button on the steering wheel so you can voice control everything. Press it right here. I think that's pretty clever as well. And some other things I really like about the car. It has a heads-up display, kind of a widescreen heads-up display. It has a flat screen dash panel. Everything is really crisp, very modern, but also very, very easy to use. And a lot of safety gear on this vehicle. Adaptive cruise control with lane centering. You have to keep your hands loosely on the steering wheel at least, but it keeps the car centered in the lane, even around curves on the highway. Takes a little load off the driving. I think it's nice. Forward collision alert with auto brake, lane keep assist, blind spot warning, rear cross path detection. Pretty much the full suite of safety gear. But you got a car that's, it's roomy enough to get 4 passengers in it. It's not a huge interior. Again, it's a compact crossover, but it has absolutely everything you'd expect on a high-end vehicle like this. Well, for a little compact crossover, I think this one has plenty of power. This has the up-level turbocharged 2.3-liter 4-cylinder, delivers 295 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. That doesn't sound like huge amounts of power, but when you've got a small crossover with all-wheel drive, you don't have a very heavy vehicle, and all that power is getting to the road. So it feels very, very athletic and very quick. And it's also very quick out on the highway. You can step on the accelerator just about any speed, and that turbo just gives you a nice little low-end torque and plenty of power, very smooth. This has a new 8-speed automatic transmission with paddle shifters, so it really makes the most of that engine and its power. Keeps you right in the right rev ranges all the time. And if you want to shift it for yourself, you can do that too. But this car has some other nice tricks that makes it very comfortable and very easy to use. So it has the drive mode selector. Right now I have it in the normal mode, which is kind of the comfort position for the steering and the suspension and the throttle. And what I really like about that is, the traditional American cars, they just feel floaty on the highway. They feel very comfortable, like, just pillow soft. And this car is controlled. It's not completely pillow soft like a big old traditional Lincoln, but there is a slight float on the highway. It's just comfortable. You kind of come off of a bridge, it just kind of damps it down, and it just doesn't feel harsh. It just feels quiet and peaceful. But you can go through the drive modes, and you can select. I've got normal now, slippery for ice and loose surfaces. It'll change the all-wheel drive system too, deep snow, and then you go back the other way. Efficient driving makes the throttle just a little less sensitive, so you have to press on it harder to get it to move, but again, saves some fuel. And then Excite. That's the one that tightens up suspension, it tightens up the steering just a little bit, and makes the throttle more sensitive. So you can really configure the car the way you want. And a lot of these drive mode selections, really just adjust the throttle or just adjust the transmission and the throttle. This one, it really kind of changes the character of the car, and you can really feel it in the adaptive suspension system. You can tighten it up, it feels sporty. It's a relatively small vehicle, you can have some fun with it. We're on the highway cruise, and it just feels like a much larger vehicle out on the road. So I think that's really, really nice. I like the pretty much a widescreen heads-up display. This one has a clock, has a temperature, speed limit, and the current speed as well. You can get navigation directions out there. So I think that works out pretty well too, and just keeps everything right in your field of view. But everything's in here. It looks really pretty, looks nicely styled, but it's really, really easy to use. Touchscreen's easy to use. Again, the volume, tuning knobs, you can reach down, fill them. You're sitting in traffic and you want to scroll through the stations, you can do that down here. Everything's just very nice and just very easy to use. And again, you get 4 people aboard, you got enough space for them. Probably not going to drive across country with 4 people aboard, but getting around town and getting a couple hours down the road, no problems at all. I think Lincoln's really doing a good job of understanding its heritage, but doing it in a way that's relevant for the 21st century. I think the Matthew McConaughey commercials really put an emphasis on that and made people kind of wake up and realize, there was a new modern Lincoln out there. But I think the stylists and the engineers have really backed that up. You have a vehicle like this Corsair that I really like a lot. It has all the elegance, all the style you'd expect of a classic Lincoln, but it all feels so modern. You've got electronics, the first-rate audio systems, plenty of power, decent fuel economy, everything you want in a car like this. So let's talk about price, because it's going to have a very Lincoln price too. Well, the Corsair starts right at $36,000. This one, as equipped, is just a shade under $57,000. So that's a lot of money for any compact crossover. But when you drive it, it feels like a $57,000 vehicle. It has the feature of a $57,000 vehicle, and everything really adds up to that when you get in the vehicle and experience it. You just have to ask yourself, are you willing to pay that for what is a compact vehicle? And if not, Lincoln has a full line of bigger and larger crossovers and SUVs with the prices, it's in that price range too. So next week for another fun car. Until then, storm forward.